It's been suggested that you could view anywhere between 15 and 20 properties before you find your ideal home and decide to put in an offer. That's an awful lot of properties and a hell of a lot of information to retain. So it's important that you get prepared and write down a list of questions that you want to ask the estate agents on your viewings. With that in mind, I've put together my top 7 questions that you should be asking estate agents on your viewings. I hope you find it useful. So question number 1 is to ask how long the property's been on the market for. Now you may be able to find this information out from the property portals that you've been searching on. However, if the property's been listed with multiple agents, it may not give you the true picture of how long it's been on the market for in total. So always ask the agent the question. If it's been on the market for a little while, ask why it's not sold. Is there any underlying issues, such as a short lease, or perhaps the property hasn't got the relevant planning permission for some building works that took place? Question number 2 to ask is, when was the property last listed? If the current owner's only been in the property for a short period, why are they looking to sell it so soon? This may start alarm bells ringing, or there could be a legitimate reason as to why. So ask the question and then complete your due diligence. Question number 3 is to ask why they are selling. So finding out the vendor's motivations will also give you an idea in terms of the urgency of the sale. If they're looking to move quickly, then that could play into your hands to be able to negotiate a sale underneath the asking price. If, however, they're in no rush, then you may need to play the long game. Question number 4 is to ask the agent if there have been any previous offers. This will give you an idea about what you've got to contend with. Of course, it's down to the agent to give you a true picture of what's going on, but if there have been lots of offers that have been rejected, this may be because the vendor is holding out for the full asking price. The agent is unlikely to give you an idea in terms of what those previous offers are to the pound, but if they can give you a ballpark figure, this will help you to prepare your own offer. Question number 5 is to ask how old the boiler is. Particularly if the property is over 15 years old, that might suggest that the boiler is also 15 years old and is very likely going to need to be replaced shortly. Now, even for a mid-range combi boiler, you could be looking at a circa £1,000, which could be a nasty unexpected surprise if you haven't accounted for it. Question number 6 is to ask about parking. Is there allocated parking or is there communal parking? If your property is in a terrace of 4 houses and those houses have 8 cars between them, but there's only 5 communal parking spaces, that could cause an issue. If you have on-street parking, do you need a permit? How much does that permit cost? If your property has a driveway, are there any rights of way for any neighbours? These are the sorts of questions you should be asking the agent. The 7th and final question is to ask the estate agent if there is anything else you should know about the property. Now, this really puts the onus on the agent to be completely transparent with you, because if there is something that you've forgotten to ask, at this point they should be telling you. And it could be anything. It might be a nasty neighbour, or it could be a border or boundary dispute. But if you're investing a lot of money into this property, these are the sorts of things you want to know about beforehand. So that's the end of my 7 questions to ask your estate agent when you're viewing properties. I hope you found it useful, and happy house hunting.